CNN smokes pot every day. And I'm not talking about the corporate heads like ABC smoking pot every day. I'm talking about the people who really changed the world as we know it. All the great musicians were potheads, from Paul McCartney to John Lennon to Led Zeppelin to the Rolling Stones. Every single person you hear on radio today, to Nickelback, to any hip-hop band, to any jazz band, to any blues band, to all rock and roll bands, any black music whatsoever, heck, even country western, Willie Nelson, Toby Keith are potheads. Okay, I would normally even say the only people who don't produce pothead music are perhaps Christian evangelicals, but I have met a few of those myself who smoke pot. So even then, country songs, classical music, when I used to speak at Idea City, all the young proteges who are 20 years old, who are classical musician proteges, would smoke pot with me afterwards. Most major film directors are potheads. Charlize Theron, when she accepted the Academy Award 2 years ago, was celebrating with an apple bomb after the Academy Awards. Everybody we admire who gives us the coolest, the hippest, the best books, the best novels, the best movies, the best music, all these are pot people. If you took away all the contributions of the cannabis community today, you would have the most sterile, uninteresting, unentertaining, boring world, which is what the world would be if we weren't there. This would be one suck-ass country if we weren't all smoking pot, I'll tell you that. Look at this. This is an inhospitable place. Man wasn't even meant to settle Saskatchewan. This was supposed to be the way station on the Orient Express from civilization in Ontario to the coast, okay? Even the native people didn't live here, they roamed here, all right? They moved across Saskatchewan, okay? It was just because it was given away. They had to give away Saskatchewan free. That advertising to a bunch of Ukrainians whose English wasn't that good, right? And get them to come here under kind of a lie, like it's a wonderful place. You'll love the weather, you know? And bring them to Saskatchewan. So it's a tough people that have evolved here, and I like that because they're soft. And you go to Amsterdam when the government tries to take away their right to smoke pot, they don't know what to do. They're helpless. They've had it good for so long. Saskatchewan is a tough place. It has tough laws, has tough police, has tough judges. I mean, I had to listen to a lecture for a half hour before the guy even sent me to jail for 3 months for passing one joint in this city, right? I mean, that's tough. Not only am I going to punish you for 3 months, but I'm going to lecture you for half an hour. So remind me how rotten you are, right? And, but I digress. I meant to point out that the reason we're hunted down like animals in a way that's so uncivil and inhumane is because we are the free thinkers. Not only do we produce everything that's worth producing that exists in the society, from your music to your films to your books to your cutting-edge media to your computer platforms, all these were produced by pot smokers. Why they want to get rid of us is because we are the free thinkers. We don't accept these one-book dogmas. We don't believe in the book of the Bible as the place where every answer is going to be. We don't believe that all the answers are in the Quran. We don't even believe all the answers are in the book of the law. We believe the answers are in our head, which marijuana helps unlock and open up and allows us to be creative and fertile-minded. And I find one of the great things about cannabis is it allows you to step in someone else's shoes. You get to see how the other world thinks of things because cannabis gives you that kind of enlightenment. And cannabis people have always been hunted down by the governments. Whenever governments discover that people are smoking cannabis, they feel threatened. Because we don't accept, it's like Falun Gong in China. Why are they trying to kill people who are just doing simple Tai Chi exercises? It seems like, why are they trying to jail us and hunt us down? Why are they putting someone like me in jail for the rest of my life and longer if they could? They always like to think they own your next 3 or 4 reincarnations when they give you like 200-year jail sentences. And you say, you come back to the frog, you still have to be in jail. And the thing is, why are we hunted down? Because we are the free thinkers. Now people discount that. They think, oh, in the modern era, free thinkers are not hunted down like animals. Oh yeah, they are. The fact we use marijuana is their excuse to get us, so there's something wrong with the marijuana. But when I first started being an activist in 1990, any book or magazine about marijuana was a $200,000 fine. $200,000 fine for the first offense and 6 months in jail. Now, real marijuana is only a $2,000 fine and 6 months in jail. So what I learned when they passed the law that banned all marijuana literature and information from 1987 to 1995, when I had that law overturned in a courtroom in Ontario, for 8 years, all literature and information about marijuana was banned. And that's when I learned that the truth is far more dangerous to the government than mere marijuana. Mere marijuana won't overthrow a government. China, they would get rid of the Communist Party of China. If the truth were available to every United States, they'd want to get rid of George Bush. Oh, they do want to get rid of George Bush. Yes, because the truth is finally out. They would have wanted to get rid of him in 2002 if all the lies we know now had been available then. The truth indeed does set the voter free. And the government's job is to protect its secrets from the people and to invade your secrets and exploit your life and your privacy and make it so that you cannot defend yourself against the government. The relationship has gotten all wrong, and the POC people see the hypocrisy of our system. They see everything that's wrong. And so we are targeted more than anybody else. You notice that the number of heroin, you can even be a heroin user in Vancouver and you don't get arrested for possession of heroin. You don't get arrested for possession of cocaine. But there were 200 arrests and convictions last year for possession of marijuana in the city that is most famous in the world for marijuana use. 200 people nonetheless were convicted last year. But they don't convict heroin and cocaine users because there's no political element to those people. They're simply victims of prohibition. But the marijuana people, we carry with us an idea. And the idea is that marijuana makes me a better person. Marijuana makes me healthy. Marijuana makes me creative. Marijuana makes me a producer. Marijuana makes me creative. And so when I talked about those people like Ted Turner, and by the way, Mike Wallace of 60 Minutes is a pot smoker. I know tons of them, right? And people that would shock you, straight people, business people, people of all kinds, as well as the people you'd expect, like Stephen Marley or something. We take it for granted people like that smoke marijuana. But it's what we have to offer the world that makes us hunted down. And you'll find this is true throughout history. That's why the Jews were always attacked and genocided for 500 years, because people resented their ability, their smartness, their ability to organize money, and so they were hunted down and sought for extermination. This is true with all progressive peoples in the world. We're always targeted. And since marijuana people are everywhere on Earth, and we grow marijuana everywhere on Earth, every government on Earth is threatened by our existence. So I don't expect this is ever going to end, because the purpose of government and its monopoly on the use of force is to control the whims, tastes, and inclinations of the people. The government really doesn't do anything well other than that. Their job is to be a control on our ideas, a control on our actions, a control on our taste, who we get involved with, the kind of ideas we think, how we're able to express them. They've tried to ban our books. By the way, I also want to point out that much progress is being made. Why they understand like dogs, and while more people are being arrested than ever before, and while the numbers are fantastic, the number of us who've spent time in jail for marijuana have been arrested, we have made a lot of progress. Since 1990, for example, we made books and magazines and literature legal about marijuana, and now we have 4 magazines in this country. Before, you couldn't even buy High Times on the stand between 1987 and 1995. Now you can. Now we have our own magazines in this country. Now we have movies and videos and a very active and lively intellectual and communication scene in regard to cannabis. When I started this in 1990, there was no such thing as legal medical marijuana. Nobody ever heard of the concept, even though people have always used marijuana for therapeutic reasons. So now we have legal medical marijuana. Yes, we have lots of trouble. Thomas Shapiro will tell us all about that, perhaps, if you ask him. That, you know, it's still very difficult to get your license. It's still very hazardous to keep your license. You're always worried about theft and a variety of other things if you have your license to grow. But nonetheless, we can grow our own medical marijuana if you have a medical need now under the new federal program. And we have books and literature. And in fact, we've got industrial hemp. When I first started in 1990, there was no such, nobody knew about industrial hemp. And now we've got a thriving industry in Manitoba and throughout the country producing hemp seeds for hemp oil, for hemp fiber, for all these things. And we have a vibrant hemp industry, hemp store industry. When I started in 1990, the government had wiped out all the head shops. They had canceled them all, closed them down. They even seized all the remaining copies of Grow Your Own Stone, a Canadian classic. The government had seized the inventories. In those days, it was actually even possible to go into a publishing company and seize all their books about marijuana, take them away, and there was nothing that could be done about it. And nothing was done about it. So we have industrial hemp now. We have hemp stores all across. We have active places making bongs and pipes, like Bob headquarters in town here, and they supply hundreds of other stores, including mine in Vancouver. We have a vibrant wholesale and retailing industry for the marijuana consumer. We've got industrial hemp, medical marijuana. We've got books and magazines. So, and, by the way, I just thought I'd tell you this. You wouldn't learn it from the media, strangely enough. But about 12 days ago, marijuana was declared legal again in Ontario, that inexplicably the media has not commented on. Now,